Yes, we're recording now. And I still have no idea how to start this. So,
Hi.
yes. This is Pet Shop Man's Nights at the Round Table, because it is an evening and we are at a round table.
We are.
I am Pet Shop Man. And this is usual Paddy. And today I have Martin with me.
Hi.
And
Yes,
he
I
waved. And I have Jamie with me.
Yo.
So this is episode 0. This is where we kind of rule what everything is going to happen in the future. So it is a podcast, obviously, because you can't see anything. And each episode will be something different. So we'll either be talking about various films we've seen, general ramblings, general talkings, things we've done, things we're going to do, so on, so forth. Blah blah and blah. I know for a fact there will be a feature called Educating Jamie, because there is a long list of films that Jamie has not seen, including things like Back to the Future, which
it's taken him that long to watch it.
And given the hype that
behaviour.
everyone's built these films up, they better not disappoint, or I won't be happy.
Neither will we if you don't like them. So that will be a thing on its own where we'll get him to watch it, and then we'll sit and we'll talk about it and how he feels about it. And if he doesn't like it, he's wrong.
And how disappointed we are it's taken him this long.
Well, we're already disappointed with them.
Yeah.
So, Back to the Future, you've not seen any of the films.
Nope.
Just as an example, please do tell us some more, which we'll be making you watch.
Well, obviously there's the Back to the Future series. I've never seen the Goonies. I've never seen any of the Godfather's films, nor the Goodfellas.
Get Out.
Was the Goodfellas a TV film, a series of film? I can't remember the Goodfellas.
Goodfellas a TV series.
Yeah, I can't remember.
No, it was not.
It was a film, was it?
It was a film.
Right. Okay. I've not seen No Country for Old Men.
No, I'm with Jamie on this one.
This is where me and Martin.
No, you're not with me because you have seen it. I've not seen it.
Yes,
that is
Martin's seen it, but he doesn't like it, and I've seen it, and
that's why I brought it up. I thought I'd take the focus off me.
This will be an episode of its own, and we'll get you to watch it, and then there will be some harsh language going on throughout that episode.
Well, there won't be any harsh language because I will be asleep.
Oh.
Stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end, not a beginning, a middle, and a...
A lot of films do.
But not that bad.
It's not bad.
It doesn't end, it just stops. It's just like, we can't be
So
bothered
does
filming
life.
anything more.
Sometimes.
It's
Didn't it?
It's terrible.
No, see, the problem people have with films is that, yes, the whole beginning, middle, and end thing. But if it is taking a segment of a person's life.
It has no pace, it has no story, it has no resolution or any of the stuff. It's just...
At this point, Joe is clenching his fists and turning red.
Raging right now.
No.
You're wrong. We'll discuss this at a later date, and you will be wrong.
But also on the Educating Me thing, there are certain classic films that I have seen, but I've only seen once many years ago, so I can't even really remember what happens. Like E.T., Ferngully.
You've only seen E.T. once?
Yep, when I was a little boy.
E.T., I really like E.T.
So do I.
But when I bought the DVD, I bought like the 25th anniversary edition, and that had added scenes put in it.
Oh,
and there were like added CG scenes, and they were god awful, and I hated them. And I think even Steven Spielberg wasn't happy with it.
Was that what South Park was taking the mick out of them when they were talking about E.T., about how they replaced the machine guns with walkie-talkies?
No, I mean that was.
Was that just a mick take?
I think that was always a thing. That was always. Oh no, it could have been for the 25th.
It was.
I know it did happen.
It was the episode of South Park where George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were ruining every film they made, and in one advert for the E.T. film, it showed basically the army men holding walkie-talkies as if they were machine guns, and we digitally replaced all the machine guns with walkie-talkies. That could just be South Park taking the mick for all I know.
That was a thing. That
actually happened then.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
But what I'm saying about in this is that E.T. itself was CG and added to do like various other things, and it ruined it for me. And
Well, if you're going to make me watch it again, then I'd rather watch the original.
I need to find the classic, like, proper edition of it. Because I was not a fan of the CG.
What I refer to as the hand-shot first edition.
Yes.
Yes.
That could be taken somewhere else. The hand-shot edition. Right, so there's E.T. Fern Gully. You'll get all like the Disney people riled up with that one.
See, like I say, I have seen it. It was just that long ago. I don't really remember much about it.
I think I've probably only seen it once.
I know Robin Williams voices the Bat, and that's about it.
No, you know that one. No, he's not even seen it.
It's an animated classic. It's not Disney though, is it? Fern Gully?
Yes.
Is it?
It's gotta be.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not Disney.
Who else?
Well, there are other people who make animated films out there, believe it or not.
No, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Right, so we'll just sit here in silence on this podcast while you look it up, shall we?
Start talking about other films that you haven't seen. Disgustingly.
Okay. Other films I've not seen. Oh God. Okay, so we've gone through Back to the Future, Goonies, Godfather, Goodfellas. What else haven't I seen? Name some classic films, Martin. Help me out.
Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Not seen it.
Layer
That's
Cake.
a great film.
Not seen it.
Rock and Roller.
Not seen it.
I don't know you, man. I don't know you.
Come on, carry on. He's still looking up.
No, unfortunately.
Any film ever made?
Oh, where Samuel Jackson plays the black guy.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Oh my God, I don't think
Do you know what I found out the other day that's actually really cool? Samuel Jackson's lightsaber hilt in Star Wars, not only was it purple because he wanted to see himself in the battles, but the actual hilt, he has that, and it actually has inscribed "bad motherfucker" on the side of it.
You're kidding me.
It genuinely does, according to Samuel Jackson.
I'm going to have to search for pictures of that. A later date, obviously. So, any luck?
He's not Googling, he's Facebooking.
Oh, Google, you moron.
Dude, Wiki would have told you straight away.
Is Fern Gully
Not you and Wikipedia again.
No, I'm sorry. Despite your machinations of hate against Wiki, that kind of thing is Fern Gully a Disney film.
No, it's not a Disney film.
Thank you. But on Wikipedia, you would have got a straight answer. That's not the kind of like exam question.
You would have got an answer from Wikipedia. It doesn't mean it's the right answer.
It probably would have
Wikipedia.
done. Yeah, but
I can edit Wikipedia,
and then the moderators will edit it back. But
I have an account on Wikipedia.
There is a difference between
that
looking
as
up
a moderator.
There is a difference between looking up something important like do atoms collide when they hit so and so for an exam question, and is Fern Gully a Disney movie?
Which apparently it is.
On the other hand,
Fern Cotton is not a Disney movie.
I would Disney her movie.
Classy as ever, Martin.
Right. I do like Fern Cotton.
So do I.
You've probably just ruined it.
I admit
I would ruin her before you.
I admit that is one case I would like to go cotton picking.
Oh, that's so bad.
Oh dear.
Bad. The worst bit is I didn't imagine what you think I was imagining. I just imagine you with your fingers up a nose going, oh, that's a good one.
Oh, for God's sake.
That one's stretchy.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, please. Please, let's do that.
Could you imagine if Fern Cotton and Dave Grohl had a child? Could you imagine the size of their nostrils?
Wait,
Fern Grohl?
Fern Cotton and Dave Grohl.
No, because Fern
Grohl.
It just doesn't work.
What a drop.
I was going to say they're not together, are they?
No. But
I don't think so.
They are two people with large nostrils, is what I'm saying.
I can
But Fern, if they did, maybe Fern Cotton is the best they'd ever had.
I can honestly say I know the whole thing about Fern Cotton supposedly having huge nostrils. It gets talked about all the frigging time, but I can honestly say I've never noticed that on Dave Grohl. Maybe because I'm just listening to the music and watching him play his guitar. I've never actually looked at his nose and gone, oh, fuck me, they're big.
That's because you can't see them because they absorb all the light that comes around them. He has like individual singularities in each nostril that sucks in everything.
Okay then.
Right.
I'm running out of beer.
Okay. On that note, where do we go from Fern Cotton?
I don't know. This is your podcast, man.
I know, but
I'm not going to suggest anything because you know it's going to go downhill.
Just having you on the podcast made it go downhill.
just inviting you round made the whole evening go downhill.
I'm a lovely person.
Because
Thank you.
just talking about...
I bought you a cake.
You did, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it is actually Joe's birthday today. Happy 34th, old man.
God knows when this will go out, but at time of recording, it is said person's birthday.
It's what's the date today? 10th or 11th?
Have you forgotten my birthday?
Which today?
It's today.
Yeah, but what is today? Is it the 10th or the 11th?
It is the 10th.
Today is the 10th of August, 2018. It is Joe's 34th birthday.
Not every year. Well, it's my birthday.
Well,
every
it is
year,
your birthday
but
every year.
I'm not 34 every year.
Yeah, you wish you could just...
Unfortunately.
I was going to say, I bet you wish you could stay at this age.
I wish I could stay younger.
Yeah, I wish I could have stayed in my 20s.
How old are you, Jamie?
31. I'll be 32
31.
in November.
Oh, dear. And Martin's the young whippersnapper at, like, 2.
Yeah, going on 2. Mentally.
Too mental.
Well, it depends. Sometimes you need a bit of mental.
So, I'm going to kind of like interview you both.
Okay.
As this is the first,
I didn't do it. I've been here all night.
we need to get to know everyone, get used to the host. The host will change from like episode to episode. Most people will be like,
So you'll be the host.
relevant.
Every
Yeah,
episode?
I'm the host, but I have
Yeah.
co-hosts,
Yeah, oh, okay.
which will in this case, unfortunately, is you two.
Sham.
So
Hey, if this goes on YouTube, do we get a share of the cash?
it's going to be a long time, if anything, that I ever make anything. But I should have probably wrote out a contract saying you get F all.
This is the part where we feign.
I did bring whiskey though,
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
so we'll just drink his whiskey and that can be our pay.
which you're doing really well.
This is
I've
the
only had like one glass.
this
and
is
5 bottles.
this is the part.
It
where
comes
we,
in a glass. That's what worries me. I've had one glass.
This is the part where we feign the spirit of camaraderie ship and hope Joe goes well and forego any kind
I'd
of
rather
payment.
drink.
To friends.
Yes, because I can't raise a glass because mine's empty.
Whose fault is that?
His.
Exactly.
It's his whiskey.
Why hasn't anyone poured me one?
Because the
Whoa!
whiskey, you are between us and the alcohol.
But I've got. Oh, I'm gonna have to nick this Coke then.
Hey, Nicky Man. Oh, man, you have got a bottle, didn't I?
There's like loads of Coke in the fridge.
Say when.
Whenever you're ready.
Ooh,
Fair
it's
enough.
cold.
Bit like your heart.
Well, I did stick it on my nipple.
So, Martin,
Yes.
what do you do for a living?
I'll just sit back and drink for this part.
I am a manager of a
Well,
business.
blow me. Not literally.
Not on, like, microphone.
Can someone remove that bottle off the table, please?
Yeah. Oh, man,
you.
beat me to it.
You are a manager.
Of a business.
Awesome. Care to elaborate on that?
I'm an arms dealer.
An arms
I
dealer.
am an arms
Wow, the feds will be round in no time.
dealer.
And Jamie,
Yo,
what do you do for a living?
officially, I am a care assistant at an old folks' home.
Oh.
Unofficially?
I'm a lazy sod. I don't do jack all.
Do you do anything at work? Because
Only
Martin
He
doesn't.
goes to work, doesn't mean he does any.
Martin goes to work. His idea of managing is, I managed to shoot a pigeon today.
All right, the joke answer is only when the bosses are watching.
Obviously.
The real answer
The
is
generic answer.
the real answer is yes. I provide personal cares for old people with dementia who can't look after themselves. I make sure their days are as uplifting as possible, and I generally look after them.
That's nice.
That's a lot better than responding to emails and shooting pigeons.
But if you want to look
All
at
in a day's work.
if you want to look at the way most people look at it, I spend my entire day wiping old people's asses.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Yep.
I was going to make a joke about Jamie getting ass, but that's, yeah.
Please don't. No, all jokes aside, I like the work I do. I'm very fond of the residents, and it is a good.
Only not
It's
too
a good.
fond
It's a
of
good
them.
job. Not for bloody hell, Martin. I'm really trying not to swear for this podcast, but you're bringing it out.
Well, you've
mate.
done it twice so far.
I have, haven't I?
I've been
You-
counting.
My
Say
apologies.
shit.
I'm so sorry.
He's not. So
Yeah,
I
He does good work.
am a pet shop man apparently, and I work in a pet shop. And
No,
that's
I've been there
Shut
once.
all I
Alright.
need to know. You have been there, and you bought nothing.
It was a task. It's just like holes in the road. It's like the Parry Dakar just trying to get off the main road to your building.
And I would like to see more Dakar cars come down that drive, but it doesn't happen. Yeah, right. Here's the thing. Yes, the road isn't great, and some people do complain. They go, "Oh, are you going to pay for the suspension?" I'm like, "No, we don't." But I drive down that drive in my car twice a day, 5 days a week, sometimes more if I have to like pop out or whatever. And my car passed its MOT with nothing wrong with it.
Nice.
And so I can throw that in people's faces when they say, "Oh, your drive's ruined my car." I say, "No, your car was already ruined. It's just that this was the straw that broke the camel's back."
I will point out, just to get one over on Martin, when you were in your town shop, I did go into your work and I bought something from you.
You did.
So did I when he was in his town.
But I can offer fantastic pet advice. You can offer, Martin, you can offer fantastic cooking advice on pigeon.
Paprika, salt, pepper, pan fry, 2 minutes either side.
And, well, there you go. There's a recipe all on its own. And Jamie can enlighten us with how to wipe our bums properly, which I'll need the loo soon.
Front to back to front, side to side, circular motion.
What was it?
Poke it, dab it.
Do you wet the tissue beforehand?
Oh,
or
God,
do you just
no.
do it?
Why would you wet the tissue?
It's just to give it that bit of relief.
No.
I mean, that's just like using a wet wipe.
No, tell I.
I know, but you might not have a wet wipe.
We don't, because we're not posh.
I would, but only if I've had a hot curry the night before. Otherwise, there's no point.
Yeah, it washes itself.
I had a hot curry the other week.
Yeah, but you have a stronger intolerance to heat.
The problem was, I could have done with cold. The trick is, when you have a hot curry, to get that drunk that
It doesn't even burn.
when it is burning the next morning, you're that hungover that the pain doesn't register.
Wise words.
Alcoholism, it's the way forward.
So, like I said, the episodes will be different. We'll be doing like film reviews or opinions. We'll be talking about things that annoy us, just general chit chat, much like this rubbish.
And whenever it's me and Martin on, you will get this constant stream of absolute rubbish. It's pretty much consistency.
I'm a legend.
But each
And I didn't swear like I wanted
each
to.
the title of each episode will like kind of highlight what the episode's about, and then where the little picture should be. There'll be a little cartoon of each of the hosts and generally what's going on. So you will be like almost caricatured.
So tonight we will basically caricatured getting drunk around the table.
Well, no, they'll just be like us in the corner, and they'll just be like various like doodles of like what we're talking about. I'm not drawing a picture of someone wiping their ass.
What? I was going to say, apart from the irreverent chit chat, what are we talking about?
That's a good point. You haven't highlighted the episode
This is
yet.
episode 0. It's just like getting the foundations, which are already ruined, about what everything is going to be. Like, at heart, especially us three, we are very nerdy people. We like very nerdy
You're damn
things.
right.
And
All your base belong to us.
we're very proud of it. I would say that we're all wearing nerdy t-shirts. I'm wearing a plain one. Martin's wearing flipping...
Hawaiian.
I'm the only one wearing a
trees.
nerdy t-shirt right here.
Yes, James is wearing a Venom t-shirt. Now, I have...
Venom.
Does that say Miami on it, that t-shirt?
No, it does not.
No, because I hate that, especially for men. It's difficult for, like, men
Martin is not
to
a
go
manly
shopping for clothes
I'm well manly, thank you.
in the street. Like, shopping online, it's fine. It's where I end up getting most of my t-shirts, whatever. But I hate that whenever it first hits summer, you go into a shop and the men's section, it's all chinos, skinny jeans, and t-shirts with pictures of cities on it. And it'll say New York, and there'll be like a load of buildings, or Miami and some flipping palm trees. It's like, I personally wouldn't wear that because I'd wear it if I'd been there. But I know it's like, I hate people that walk around in t-shirts or
New
jumpers
York,
which say
they've never
I
been
heart
there.
New York. So if you I heart New York that much, why the hell are you here?
I've got a t-shirt and it's kind of got like an artist sort of an elephant sort of design, and then a little elephant within the big elephant, and it says in French something like "I love my dad" or "I want to be like my dad" or whatever. And that.
An elephant.
Yeah, it's like an elephant and then
Bit random,
a little elephant next to.
It's really random.
Yeah. And my dad got me that, which is brilliant. But my little one who
Your little elephant.
Yeah, my little 2-year-old, and that she turns up to me. She points at the big elephant and says, "That's you, Daddy. That's me." I was like, "She doesn't even speak French. It's nice."
She doesn't speak French. It's nice.
Yeah, but she still managed to say, "That is Daddy. That is me."
Wait, did we just interject something heartwarming into this podcast? What the hell?
He has a fraction of a heart.
I do.
Wow, we're learning something new every day.
He keeps that under lock and key.
He does, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
it was nice.
Or the missus
It's nice when your little sproglotoid actually says something sort of, "That's you."
See, this is a side of Martin I've not seen before.
Yeah, it's frightening.
I mean,
kind of don't want to see anymore.
No, well, there's a joke out there that says, what was it? A mother knows her child's fears, favourite foods, favourite lessons at school, best friends, secret crushes, and all that rubbish. A father is basically vaguely aware of some short people living in the house. And I thought that was Martin to a T.
Yeah.
But that what he's just said there has just changed my perspective.
So what is her favourite food?
Basically,
She's 2 years old.
the
but she
thing
won't have
that
one
you
yet.
didn't
Oh,
give her.
everyone has a favourite.
When, like Martin just said, when they're 2 years old, their favourite food is the food that you didn't give them.
Yes.
Yeah,
the thing that you've put on her plate, she wants the thing that isn't on her plate.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's it. I mean, you have to eat the same things that they do. As unfortunate as that is.
Same scenario. Today at lunch, I would cook myself some chicken burgers, and while I was cooking them, Kirian was going, don't like burgers. So I made him a jam sandwich. And the entire time I was sat there, "Daddy, I like burgers. I ended up giving him half my frigging burgers.
I was watching this comedian the other night, this Australian comedian, and he says that he's a divorced dad. He has his kid for so much length of time. And he said, he's only like 4. I had to make like chicken nuggets and apples and stuff like that. And he said, I made myself the same because I'm not cooking 2 meals.
No, I can.
So
I can sympathise.
Eat the
with
same
that.
thing as what you're doing with your kids. I don't have kids, I'm just
no. That's right. Well, when it comes to me and Kirian eating, because obviously Astrid's only like 11 months old, so she'll just eat little scraps. But Kirian,
I just wipe my plate
have found the
and
sandwich on the floor.
She will eat the remnants of my dinner.
Maybe I should clarify. She is primarily breastfed, so at mealtime she's just given a few little bits of food for fun, for texture, all that. She doesn't need them for sustenance. Kirian is 3 years old. He needs proper food like the rest of us. So either he has the same thing as what we're having.
Steak.
I don't think I've actually tried him with steak
How
yet.
does he like his steak?
I don't think he's tried steak yet. Or, if he's not having what we're having, he will have something quick and easy, like a sandwich. Because he does like his sandwiches.
I do like a good sandwich.
I have to disagree.
Go on
a sandwich being quick and easy, because say you didn't have any bread, baking bread isn't quick.
What's wrong with spreading butter on 2 slices of ham? Sandwich.
Now, here's an interesting
We
question.
always have bread.
A breadless
That's a non-issue.
sandwich. For all the gluten weirdos out there. A breadless sandwich. Just get your mate
Can
and
you not
spread
say
some
stuff
butter
like that
on
while
it.
I'm taking a drink? You nearly had it all over your microphone there.
That's why I have these like spit guards.
And you really think that would have stopped it?
I hope so.
Oh, man.
I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, anyway.
But sandwiches being quick and easy.
Yeah, alright. If I was to eat a slice of bread, and then I was to eat a knob of butter,
Gluten!
then I was to eat a slice of ham, then I was to eat another knob of butter, then I was to eat another slice of bread.
Knob.
In that order,
You've eaten a sandwich.
would it count as a sandwich?
Well, yeah,
so I've
because
eaten the ingredients of a sandwich.
It does.
They weren't a sandwich.
It does, because if you go to like a restaurant and you have like a burger, for example, like a posh place, then some people, maybe not necessarily yourselves, do eat it in stages. Like maybe if you have like a burger in like a peppercorn sauce, say, some people will like maybe knock the bread off and like cut. I mean, it's already soaked in peppercorn sauce, so you're not gonna like pick it up and eat it like it's a McDonald's.
No.
So you'd like slice it and maybe like scoop up some of that sauce in, but they'll like eat it in stages as you work down the burger. So it's still a burger and you've eaten it in stages. So the same could apply to a sandwich. Like, I'll eat a loaf of bread. I plan on eating a lot of sandwiches.
Well,
If that's the case of where you eat a loaf of bread, then you eat a stick of butter, you eat a pack of ham, a pack of cheese, and a jar
big
of
sandwich.
A jar of Branston pickle, obviously.
well,
Do you just like drink it, or do you use a spoon? Or
Well, have you ever tried drinking Branston pickle?
no, I have not.
That stuff does not move.
So what that's telling you is
Now
that
you get the full stuff. You don't get the small chunk or the smooth. That can get out my life.
Oh.
You get the full chunky stuff. You turn that stuff upside down. You can keep it upside down for a year. That stuff ain't moving.
well, see, to make a point here, I'm part of an autistic group on Facebook, and they're all talking about.
When you said that, it sounded like you were in a band or something like that. Sorry, carry on.
This one time at band camp.
Yes, all right. They're talking about their children and the problems they have getting to eat.
Yeah.
And there's some of them who they eat all the ingredients of a sandwich. They will eat the bread with butter on it. They will eat the fillings, but they will not eat them together. So I would say it is acceptable to eat a sandwich in stages rather than just in the whole
I've
thing.
known people that don't like their food touching other food.
Yes, I've known a few
got
people
to be
like that.
separate.
That's acceptable. That's fine. But the question is not whether it's acceptable to eat bread, butter, ham, butter, bread, but does eating those individual ingredients by themselves still constitute a sandwich?
If you're eating them all at the same time, as in like, oh, I'll eat the bread first,
Like in one
then I'll
sitting?
eat that. Yes,
But
then it will count to being
But I mean,
like a sandwich.
if you were taking a pre-made
Ah,
sandwich
but-
and then taking it apart, that's one thing. But if you'd taken the ingredients that had never been formed into
No.
a sandwich to begin
I
with...
don't think it doesn't because
Technicality, what you just had there is a buffet. But for metaphorically, yes, that would count
because
as a
if you
sandwich.
have a full English breakfast, it comes with toast, and
Yeah.
generally, you know, oh, I ate a full English sandwich. So, them things would have to be made into a sandwich, and then you take the levels off.
So if you
That
were
has to be in sandwich form first.
So
Pardon me?
if you were to have, say, if you were to eat, like, when you have a starter at a restaurant,
Yeah,
say you were to have the soup, and you have the bread,
yeah.
you eat the bread, eat the soup, and then you have another bit of bread.
You
That-
dunk the
soup
bread
sandwich.
into the soup.
But would that count as a soup sandwich? Because you've had bread, soup, bread.
No, it's soup
No,
with a side
in
of
order
bread.
to do that, you'd have to get your slice of bread, put it in the soup, sink it to the bottom,
Yeah.
and then put another one on the top.
Alright, so that means,
Then you can strip it down.
So that means that it has to have been a sandwich to begin with.
Yes.
Right. So if you eat a slice of bread out of the bread bin or the loaf or whatever, then you eat a knob of butter.
Out of the bread bin or the loaf.
Whatever.
And there's just a random piece of
However,
bread in the bread bin.
If you eat a bread, if you eat a piece of bread that's just straight cut off the end of the loaf, right?
Yeah,
Then you eat some butter, then you eat some ham
yeah.
out of the packet, but
Yeah.
then you eat some more butter, then you eat another slice of bread. That doesn't count as a sandwich because you've just said.
No,
that
I know. I'm saying now.
the soup would have to be
Thinking
bread
into it
in
more.
soup to thing. So bread, butter, ham, butter, bread doesn't count as sandwich unless it was a sandwich before
Yeah.
you separated the ingredients.
I'm going back on what I said. It needs to be in sandwich form first.
All right, there we go.
But then if you eat it in levels, it's still a sandwich because that's what it originally intended to be.
in certain, hang on, let me get my words together here. In certain situations, for example, trying to get an autistic child to eat their food, you could call it a sandwich.
Yeah. We're back. We paused it because we all needed to pee. Not at the same time. We took it in turns because we're British and we can queue.
You should never cross streams.
No. Not around that toilet. There's not enough room. Not enough around the toilet because it's backed up to a wall.
And if there's one thing us British can do, we can queue.
Yes. Well, you'd like to think so, but some of my customers think not. They're probably not from around here. Probably southern like you.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
You foreigner.
Sorry.
Anyway, we've just been on an in-depth discussion about Keanu Reeves before we came back.
He's
Oh, I forgot your knife, sorry.
he's an intimidating man.
He is, but, like, I'd like to think that I could be friends with him. But I'd also not be able to trust him because
he would kick your ass.
He's the visual representation of monotone. It's like, is he being conniving? Is he being really friendly? Is he just like generally nice, or is he like plotting something? But I'd like to think that I could be really good friends with him. And if Keanu Reeves ever listens to this, I'd like to interview you on said podcast. Or any famous people.
I've been on TV before.
You don't count. Literally, you don't count because you're too lazy.
I can count.
You can't count.
1,
I
2,
know.
8, all that.
Yeah. But yeah, Keanu Reeves. I mean, they're making another Bill and Ted, aren't they?
They are.
Have you seen Bill and Ted, Jamie?
Yes, of course I have. Whoa, hang on, no, because there's 2 of them, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
I've seen the second one, Bogus Journey, but I've not seen Incredible Adventure or Excellent Adventure, whatever it's called.
That one was the best one. Excellent.
See, well, obviously I can't compare, but I did really enjoy Bogus Journey. I thought
you love it.
Which one between Bill and Ted? Which one is the companion and which one is the Time Lord?
Neither. They're both the same. If anything,
they both go into a phone box and they both travel through time.
Yes, but neither of them is in charge of the other. They're like bros. They're not doctor and companion.
They're American. It's just a general phone box. It's not like a police call.
Now, what says they're American Time Lords?
Despite not having seen
the world.
Despite not having seen Excellent Adventure, I have seen the animated series, so I can name drop and say that the Time Lord would be Rufus.
Rufus is the Time Lord because he's the one that introduced him to it.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because I've seen the animated series, I watched it as a kid, so I know who Rufus is, even though I've never seen Excellent Adventure.
Rufus.
Don't know why I'm making
hand
gestures.
No, you got to do the hand gestures. If anything, it's got to be like Wild Stallions, and then you do the air guitar.
Oh, I was expecting to have stuck a finger up at me because I wasn't looking at something.
Stick a finger where?
We do that. We do that anyway.
Well, yeah, I know that. That's not exactly new, is it?
No. But yeah, Keanu Reeves. He seems like a good dude.
Do you know?
And I wouldn't like to cross him.
Do you know who I do think is cool?
Like, I'm not a fan of the film Constantine, and I swear at some point he says, because Rachel Weisz is in it, and I'm sure at one point, if you listen really closely, he says Rachel. I'm sure that happened, but I don't think it's a great film. But if I ever met Keanu Reeves, it's like, oh, brilliant film, Oscar worthy.
Did you know that in the scene in Star Wars where Luke's just blown up the Death Star, he gets out of the X-Wing and rather than shouting Leia, he shouts Carrie?
Does he?
No, I was not aware of that.
I am so going to look that up now. Well, not now, but
when
later
he's
on.
getting down out the
X-Wing.
X-Wing after blowing up Death Star, he shouts
Carrie.
Wow, I'm going to have to look that up.
It's one of them weird things like the dunk when he walks through the stormtrooper.
Yes, where he bangs his head.
That when the stormtrooper banged his head, they did actually notice that and they capitulated on it because the sound effect was never originally there. They added that in.
Yeah, but what's it's kind of like it's one of them weird things that originally started off as but it is there in the original thing at least. It is there.
Now, speaking of added sound effects, there's one bit in Jurassic Park.
Oh, here we go.
In the first one, when Dennis Nedry falls over, there's like the classic whistle.
Yes, there is.
Have you noticed that as well?
I've been agonising over that so many times when I've heard it. I was like, that cannot be the comedy sound effect whistle.
Day one when I first saw that film, it's like that's like an added comical whistle. That
see, I
just
heard
before
it
his untimely demise.
every time I've heard it. My mind's been thinking that cannot be the comedic full whistle. It has to be something else. Maybe the Dilophosaurus whistle or something. There's got to be something they cannot have put the comedic whistle in there for him falling over.
Could you imagine if they found it's like Dennis Nedry's dead?
That's it. Or like the Sonic "I Died" music, Game Over. That one.
Pardon me.
You're being very windy tonight, Jamie.
Blame the booze.
Yes, well, the drink is flowing. Yeah, I mean, we're saying booze, but James is drinking like fruit juice.
Yeah, it's not.
It's cider.
It's practically an adult fruit shoot.
It's cider. An FYI, an adult fruit shoot would be a J2O.
A side order.
Screw you. I have been drinking whiskey as well, thank you. Well,
Yeah, that's true.
honey liqueur.
You've been
but-
drinking bourbon.
Well,
Yeah, it's American, it's
Is
bourbon.
the honey one even bourbon? Because it's more a liqueur than a whiskey,
it
isn't it?
is classed as a honey liqueur, but you drink it like a bourbon. See, I mean, they call it whiskey themselves, don't they? But it's made with maize,
No,
so
they
it's
don't.
a bourbon. Not that one. If you got an original one.
I was going to say, the honey one just says liqueur. It never actually says that it's whiskey or anything. Or
Distilled and
bourbon.
bottled, distillery, blah blah blah. Sour mash.
Oh yeah, you got it.
So I'm presuming, like...
But it's made with maize, which makes it a bourbon.
I'm presuming from, like, the proper next episode onwards, the chats are going to be a bit more structured.
Where's the bottle? Come
We'll
on.
have some random
Don't be
ones.
stingy.
We'll have some random ones thrown in,
Thank you very
much
much.
like episode 0 here. But yeah, I mean, we live in Scarborough,
Yes, we
which,
do.
which is in the UK, and
And I didn't have a choice in that, by the way. My parents brought me up here when I was a year old, so just seen that.
well, just think if you were still down south, you'll be lock, stocking into Smoking Barrel in it.
I cannot quote on that reference
Because
I have
that is
not seen
another
the film.
classic that you have not seen.
There's two types of people from the UK. There's those from the north and those that are wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now see, down in the south, we say it the other way. There are two types of people in the UK: those who are southern and those who are wrong. But just think, if I'd still lived down south, I would have friends like you down south. Can you imagine the
you
southern
wouldn't.
Martin and
See,
Joe?
you could pour that drink on the coaster, and it wouldn't rattle.
Yeah, but Martin doesn't think about
And
that.
you filled a glass, and now you've put it on the coaster. It's a bit late for that now. We're trying to talk about why Jamie is wrong from being southern.
And I poured my drink correctly, I might add.
The best thing about, like, I've been down south a few times in the
Whereabouts you
country. In the country.
Oh, West Country.
No, I'm saying down south as in like not down south, as in down south, as in down the country.
Right, okay,
like,
fair
all
enough.
I've been down south.
Whereabouts down south have you been then?
I've been ever. I've been to London.
Merry Old London town, yeah, but I'm not from London, so you can't judge me on that.
Yeah, but London. It's good that I've seen it, but
London is an okay place as a tourist, but I wouldn't want to
London
live
just
there.
seems to be a very uncultured city these days.
Do you know what
It
the
is.
funniest thing that ever happened to me was?
And the only reason I went down there is because Legoland was there and they Harry Potter studio
King's
tour,
Cross. Oh, the studio tour. yeah.
at Watford.
When I was younger, obviously I was younger. Anyway, when I got married, we went to London for our honeymoon. And the greatest thing is when we got off the train at King's Cross Station, the very first thing I saw was a massive sign saying "Welcome to Yorkshire." So I was like,
What?
"This is some kind of weird." It was because it's like that "Welcome to Yorkshire"
Like
sort of
a-
tourism thing,
Like
that we
a
had going.
10-hour train ride to find that you're still in Yorkshire.
Yeah, it was like yeah.
Well, so someone had put it up there for laughs, basically.
No, it was like a full sort of like tourism campaign thing. They had like the whole "Welcome to Yorkshire." It had like the banner with the white text and the purple thing and all that.
I don't get the point, though. Why would that be in London?
Because they were advertising people to go to Yorkshire. It's just-
Yorkshire's a nice place.
it is.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't say welcome to Yorkshire. They'd say,
It-
why
and
not
it,
go
it,
to
it
Yorkshire?
wasn't saying this is Yorkshire. It's just "Welcome to Yorkshire" was the slogan of the advertising campaign.
Oh, right,
It's
fair
just I
enough.
found it funny that I went from Yorkshire to London to be welcomed back to Yorkshire.
Fair enough.
I have also been slightly below London.
Why?
Oh, where was it? It was Sandown.
Sandown, not a place I'm
There's
familiar with.
there's a horse race track there, but I went to a trade show with work down there, and I had to drive an automatic all the way.
Ooh. Now, see, I hail from a town called Maidenhead in Berkshire, which is an hour. Stop it. Which
Berkshire?
Stop it. Which is an hour's car drive west of London. In that area, you get Reading, Wokingham, Crowthorne, Bracknell.
I've been to
You'll-
Reading.
you'll have heard-
When I
yeah,
went
Reading. That's my neck of the woods.
when
That's
I
where
went
I'm from.
to the Harry Potter studio tour, we actually took a coach trip, and the hotel that we stayed at was just outside of Reading, and it was a lovely hotel,
Nice.
proper swanky for
See,
me.
I've lived most of my life up here, and I've picked up a bit of the Yorkshire twang.
Now, do you
Well,
prefer
obviously.
Yorkshire?
Honestly, I can't compare because I was a year old when I moved up here. But every year, when I lived at Behave...
Yeah, they're still drinking that.
Exactly.
Don't threaten to bottle them with
If
it.
he slags off Yorkshire, we're sacrificing the whiskey to bottle
I am not
North
going
Yorkshire.
to slag off Yorkshire. Woe betide unto me. No. I've lived up here for 30 of my 31 years. I used to go down south every Christmas and sometimes summer to see my family. And I always loved it down there, just as much as I love it up here. The only difference being down south, there are more people with my accent. And my accent is something I got bullied horrendously for up here.
I find
really
your
have a
accent
southern
just
accent.
very, like,
Irritating.
regular. There's
Yeah,
like
see,
no
things-
twang to it.
Yeah, but you've met me as an adult.
Well,
Back at school when I was a child, I still had my southern accent fully that my parents, raised me up with.
Yeah.
And I used to get horrendously bullied for that. And when I go down south now, they're confused because I've got this half and half accent going on. But I've often found that when I drink and when I get ratted, I revert to full southern. Whereas...
Take his drink off him.
Shut up. Whereas up here, when I deal with a lot of the residents that I work with, a lot of them do actually speak proper broad Yorkshire. And I find myself having to actually put on a Yorkshire accent so that they can understand what I'm saying.
Wow.
I'm talking proper broad Yorkshire. Like, hey up lad, get to kettle at water on.
It'll be like that crow that's been going around.
Crow?
Have you seen the video on like various sources? It's been on the news, like local news. There's a crow somewhere that speaks with a Yorkshire accent, and it says, "You're out, love." I will find you.
Yes,
I will
I've seen
find you
it.
the
I know what
video.
you're on
It's
about.
like-
I've seen that.
It's a
yes.
hooded crow, which is weird to begin with, but it's mimicking the Yorkshire accent because
Yes.
you've been living in Yorkshire, and it says, "You're out, love."
I've seen it.
It's
It doesn't
so
say it quite,
weird.
It doesn't say it quite as articulate as that, but it does say it. I've seen it.
Like that crow is a dude. I'd like
What, like Dude
Talon.
the Pig?
pound it or something.
You would pound a crow.
No, like fist bump it,
You would
but
fist a crow?
with its talon. I'll fist you in the face in a minute.
Ew. But yeah, I should
Yeah,
probably save...
It's a northern thing you wouldn't understand.
What,
I should-
fisting's northern?
I should probably try and save some face here by pointing out that my wife is a Yorkshire lass, which means both my children are half Yorkshire, and I do love living up here. If I didn't, I would have moved back down south a long time
We
ago.
have a beach.
No, really?
The
I
south
never
bit.
noticed.
I hate to break it to you, but they have those sort of all over. We're on an island.
Yeah, but when you start speaking of south, you start thinking London, don't you?
Yeah,
London has a beach, but you're not allowed on it.
Wait, what?
Because of the toxic amount of like.
London has a
level.
beach.
Yeah, it's on the side of the Thames. Now, if you
Does
research
that count
its
as
past,
a beach?
yeah, it is classed as a beach,
But it's not
and
seawater.
it is part of the Thames.
Thames.
It is part of the Thames.
How much
And
have you had?
if you research it, there are people like actually on the beach, but they closed it off, they barriered it off because of the amount of pollution that's in the Thames.
Fair enough. That's the third
So
time now.
it does have a small beach, but it does have a beach, and it is rancid. But then Scarborough's beach, they spent millions on like water treatment, and then it still failed to get its like green flag or whatever it was.
But
Do you
it did,
want
it
to
did
know
get the
something
green flag at one point,
completely
didn't it? And then it's just
At
suddenly
one
gone back
point it did
down.
when it first got done, but then we got this like massive water treatment, and it's still not classed as like a top beach. It's
Well,
still like
when I
really-
used to,
Then people blame McCain's.
When I used to kayak quite a lot, we went out paddling, and we were waiting for the waves to come in, like you do, and there's just a puddle or just a collection of stuff that had accumulated. And I'm not taking the mick when I say I put my paddle in to do a stroke to move forward. I came back up and it had a sanitary pad stuck to it. That is Scarborough's seafront.
Yeah, but if you go to Filey, they get like great. I think they've won like beach, like top beach or something.
How is that
of
possible,
the
considering Filey's just like next door? I mean, does the sea
Yeah,
have a
but
barrier
the
where
thing
pollution
is,
can't cross or something?
It's not Scarborough.
Yeah, but what stops the pollution from crossing? I mean, is there a barrier or something? You pollution
Well,
can't
no,
come here.
The problem is, like, I think it's McCain's. Their outflow runs directly out into the sea, and I think it's been speculated that's been like the most cause of the problem.
Yeah, but what's the outflow from
But then
McCain's?
fat
Chip
is
fat.
further down the beach, further down the coast.
Yeah, but what's the outflow from McCain's factory? Chip fat. How is that pollution?
It's fat.
Yeah, but fat isn't pollution.
It's still waste that's been pumped into the sea.
But it's not like toxic waste, is it? It's fat. It's a natural
It's
occurring substance.
Not that kind of fat.
Well, I
So,
suppose
like
not when it's
vegetable
coming off.
fat or
Okay.
like animal fat, and
Animal fat is a natural occurring substance.
yeah, but like not to the extent that McCain is turning out. I mean, I think they do use vegetable fat as to keep
Other
it like.
chip making places are available.
But
Well, I
then,
suppose we have to start doing that. Don't
if
we?
fat is getting
Like,
into the ocean,
Other Keanu Reeves may be available.
I'm sorry, but if fat is getting into the ocean, if it's just fat,
Yeah, but if it's like
then isn't the all
you
the
haven't got
sea life
just-
eating it?
You haven't just got fat. You've
yeah,
got
but that could be
various-
poisoning.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be polluting the beaches. It would just be poisoning the animals. I'll
But
say
it's-
just. That
it's-
is a bad thing.
It's
but
still
you know
an
what I mean.
outside source that's polluting the beach. It's
You've
not
got this-
a
Yeah, all right,
natural
okay, I'll
occurring
let
thing
you
that
have
would
that.
be
You've got this
polluting.
thing called the tide, right?
Yes, I'm aware of what the
And
tide
It
is.
waves,
Yeah.
so you have to wave back.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me for being a poor southerner. I don't know what a beach is.
yeah. We have this thing called water, and it's got salt in it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You inlanders won't know.
No.
Yet you all seem to come in here when I'm trying to drive home from work and
see,
block the road.
I did read a fact about this, about the saltiness of the sea.
Oh, don't say it's like
Sharks wanting the hug.
What? Oh, the
It's
tears
the
of the
tears
sharks.
of
Yeah,
sharks,
no,
yeah.
no.
I was thinking you're thinking of like
it was something.
whales that have been like
Actually, Joe's not
doing
far
things.
off.
Oh my god!
Joe's actually very close. It was meant as a joke, but it reads as a factoid. It's a specific kind of whale. I can't remember what it is, but basically,
Sperm whale.
I don't believe it actually was a sperm whale, but that would be appropriate,
Salty.
I guess. Basically, when it
Depends
mates
what it's been
when
eating.
it mates with a female whale, it wastes like 90%.
A fee whale.
Female whale.
I do
Female.
I do condone puns on this.
Oh, good. When it mates with a fee whale, basically 90% of its sperm is wasted in the sea. And that's why the sea's so salty. Obviously, that's bollocks. It's just a joke. But
Of course, it's bollocks.
It is bollocks, yeah.
you know what I mean? It's funny. So.
Maybe this is why they started whaling back in the olden days.
I tried making a joke. Damn you both.
But then, I mean, a few years ago we had that whale washed up on the beach, didn't we?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, there's a whale." Now, me and two friends, one of them, well, no, both of them worked at the Sea Life Centre at the time, and we went down and we had a look at it, and there were a load of people there, and they were asking us questions about the whale, and like. I've grown up watching like various documentaries, obviously.
Like Free Willy.
No,
I thought that was real.
no.
Carry
It's
on.
real in the sense that there are boys and there are killer whales, and there are killer whales that want to be in the sea
And
not the sea world.
And that the killer whale in Free Willy was an actual killer whale. What was his name again? It was Michael Jackson's old whale, wasn't it?
Michael Jackson had a whale?
Yeah, he
Well,
bought
he had everything, didn't he?
after the Free Willy films.
He had a chimpanzee as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Bubbles. Yeah, after the Free Willy films, he bought the orca, the killer whale that they used in the films, but I can't remember its name, and it ended up
It'd be really
dying.
awkward.
No,
But
if anyone's listening to this and wants to join in on the comments,
Yeah, if anyone's listening to it, if anyone wants to listen to this.
what was the name of the whale from Free Willy that Michael Jackson ended up?
Well, it was
owning?
Willie, because they wanted to free him.
No, the actual name of the whale outside of the film. It had a real name. I cannot for the life of me remember what it
Keiko
was.
wasn't it?
Keiko, that's it. Thank you.
The actor's name. What was the actor called?
Yeah, the actor.
Keiko Jackson.
Yes, it was Keiko. Thank you.
Oh, just whiskey at the nose.
You're supposed to drink it,
Don't be
dumbass.
snorting it.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, where were we going with this?
I don't know.
I don't think we were going anywhere.
There was a
We've just
whale
no
washed
train
up on the
of
beach.
thought.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
there were a lot of people around. We were like looking at the whale. My friends that were working at the Sea Life Centre were like studying it, in the next couple of days, there were going to be a crew of people taking samples from it before, I think, like slicing and dicing and getting rid of it.
Presumably it was dead by this point.
Yes, it had been dead. I mean, it didn't get on the beach and thought, I'll chill here for a bit.
Well,
and then die.
It doesn't have any other option, does it?
Well, clearly not. But now, it just seems weird to me because obviously I like to watch a lot of like these documentaries and so on and so forth about wildlife and things like that. But it's people that don't. It like really baffled me. Like some of the questions, like because these people saw us like we knew something about it. People are asking like some really strange questions. Like some was saying like, "Is this big for a whale?" It's like, well,
depends on the species.
The biggest mammal in the world is a blue whale, and that's massive. This it's a minke whale. I mean, it's not particularly huge.
What was it?
So
a
therefore,
minke.
It was a minke whale.
All right, I'll have to look that one up.
But like, no, there's like.
It's just minky sounds like a New Zealander.
He was being a little minky. But like, it was a relatively small whale, but I just found it like really strange. Like, but it was also good. Like people were asking questions because like people were interested.
Yeah,
which is always good to educate people. I mean, it's partly my job. I end up having to educate a lot of people about their pets, which you'd think people would already know, but they don't.
No.
And you get all sorts of questions.
What vegetables are best for my dog?
None.
I knew that one would strike a nerve.
They kind of maize is good.
I was going to say, I thought dogs could eat both. I thought it was cats that were purely carnivorous.
Cats are purely carnivorous. Dogs could potentially have both.
But they probably
there's
shouldn't.
no better source of protein
than
meat. Then that's going to piss a lot of people off.
We live a healthy vegan lifestyle, and we want our cat to eat vegan too.
Now, we have been asked this question before.
Yeah, I know you have. I remember
times.
seeing your rants about it.
The problem is, like, vegetarians, when you explain to them about vegetarian diets, vegetarians need to be a little more lax, and they can take that advice. But the problems that we've had in the past when trying to educate people are vegans. Unfortunately, I don't want to piss off vegans. They are people
Why?
too.
They do their best to piss us off.
But the thing is, they stand by their beliefs that, yes, fair enough, if you don't want to eat meat, vegan is caveman slang for can't hunt. But
there was a T-shirt of that. I'm sure I saw that on a T-shirt.
I know, and I want it. But the thing is, vegans that don't want to eat it, that's fine. That's their choice. I've got no problem with that. But when they want to pass that on to me, I'm not going to listen. I like meat. It tastes good if cooked right.
And we kind of need it.
Then it's even worse if they try and pass it off to pets, because it's the pets that suffer from it at the end of the day. And the only problems we've had when trying to educate people are from vegan people, not vegetarians, because they point blank refuse to want to give their pets meat. And it's like, for a dog, there are vegetarian diets out there.
Because dogs can.
I wouldn't solely recommend it.
No.
But there is something that a dog's body can make, which cats can't. And you can only get that from meat. You can't get it from soy or anything. It only comes from meat. Or the dog's body can produce it on its own and a cat's body can't. And it's the vegans that want vegetarian food for the cats. Now, I think there's some like American films that do make vegetarian diets. I really don't recommend it. But the problem is, because a cat's body can't produce this thing naturally, they can only get it from meat. You start giving it a vegetarian diet, its eyesight goes, its liver goes, the body just starts shutting down one thing at a time, and eventually it will kill them. And I don't condone it. If anyone even wants a vegetarian diet for their dogs, I will try and educate them. And if they see my process being right, then fair enough. I can sell you any number of dog foods. That's great. Like the thing with dog food is that there's such a variety out there, and it is mind blowing. There is a lot of bad food out there. There's a lot of good food, and generally where I work, where if people are on a bad food and want advice, if it's bad food, we'll tell them. We'll say, that food is rubbish, you don't want that. And we'll try and put them on something else. But you can get better food, in some respects, for less than what your rubbish food is. It's all about knowing.
I used to work with a guy who had a dog, and he fed it, I can't remember the name, but it was like a working dog food.
Yeah.
And it was specifically designed for working dogs. I don't know why I'm doing air quotes.
Jess is on working dog food.
But the idea with that is, because it's a working dog food, you don't pay VAT on it.
You don't pay VAT on a working dog food. Or which a lot of dog foods will put working dog on it. So it depends on what food you're feeding, Jamie, to your dog. To where there are actual working dog foods, and then there are working dog food, air quotes, which are just labelled that, so you don't pay VAT on it. Now, actual proper working dog food, it's a high energy food. Now you'll find like a lot of cereal in it. Like I said, maize is good. Maize is a quick source of energy. As soon as I've eaten it, it turns into energy. So it's good for replenishing what a dog has used or is about to use through working. Now, for a pet dog, it means a lot of built-up energy. And you can see like hyperactivity in that can increase if they're not working it. Now, people seem to think, oh, well, I walk my dog like twice a day for like 3 hours. That's not working. That's not vigorous working. That's just a lot of exercise, which is always good. It's good for everyone. But, again, that's not working dog food. But people like a working dog food because it's cheaper. There are some good working dog foods. There's a lot of, there are some brands out there which will have a standard pet range and they'll have a working dog range. There's very little difference between the two. The only thing is you'll get more in the working dog food and it'll be higher protein. And we get a lot of people that come in saying, I don't want a high protein food for my dog because it'll make him too hyperactive. This is misinformation. Now, high protein is alright, it just depends on where your protein is coming from. If your first source of protein is meat, which will be the first ingredient on the ingredients list on the back, if it's like chicken or lamb or whatever, that's great. That's great. That'll help with the muscle. It'll help with the energy. It'll help with everything. It'll be great. But if your first ingredient is cereal, that's not what you want. If it's high protein but cereal, that means that they're not even being descriptive about what veg or cereal that is, because it would depend on what's cheaper on the time. Like peas could be cheaper, so we'll throw more of that in. But next time maybe carrots might be, so we'll throw more of that in and less peas. It's an inconsistent feed.
Fair enough. So what would you, going personally here, what would you, oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? Suggest, there we go. What would you suggest for a medium-sized dog who is walked but isn't a working dog as such? So obviously working dog food isn't the best thing.
Again,
a German Shepherd.
It depends on the type of food you've got, because I say some pet dog foods say working dog on, so you don't pay VAT on it.
Am I allowed to say brand names?
You could name drop if you want.
I'm allowed to name drop, am I?
Yeah.
Aldi, 10 kilogram working dog for a £5.
See, the problem with like home brand things, be it like Aldi or Asda or Wilko or anywhere, it'll probably comes from the same place. But the thing is, you'll find that when you first look at the ingredients, the first thing that will say, you'll either say cereal or veg. And then you may buy a bag of chicken, Like, I'm going to get some chicken flavoured dog food for my dog. And you'll look at the ingredients and it'll say chicken. Well, it'll say meat and animal derivatives, 4% chicken. Now that means that it can guarantee that 4% of the meat that's in there is chicken. They can guarantee that.
Yeah.
But the meat and animal derivatives part means it can be beef, it can be pork, it can be... But because derivatives are the leftovers, it's the offcuts, it's the horrible bits.
Well, doesn't that mean using all...
But they can guarantee that 4% of it is chicken.
Yeah. Alright, so given that, as far as we're aware, our dog has no allergy to any food, meat, or otherwise, what would you suggest for a medium-sized German Shepherd who is walked but is not a working dog?
Well...
Food.
Yeah, I mean, food is always good.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with food.
Because she does have hyperactivity.
See, is the food all different colours?
It's like...
Does that have all different coloured bits in it?
It's all brown, but it's all different shades of brown. It's dry dog food.
The blander the food looks, the better it is. When you get food, when you get cheaper food...
What about Skittles?
Oh, for God's sake.
I'll get to that.
It's all...
I'll get to that, because when you find a food that's all different coloured bits and pieces...
It's all brown, but half of it's light brown, half it's dark brown.
Right, well, that's probably not as bad as some of the others out there. But if you find a food that's all different coloured parts, its colours, it is additives that make it bright green, bright red.
Oh.
That is simply there for people to look at and go, ooh, that looks nice, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
But it is like your Skittles, it is colours. It is additives, like what you get in Skittles, like what you get in brightly coloured like sweets or kids' food like that. Now, a dog is colourblind. It doesn't care if it's red or green or blue or whatever colour it is.
No.
It's got to look right, it's got to smell right, it's got to taste right. So, but the problem is, with all them different colour bits comes other things, which you'll find with cheaper food. It comes with a lot of sugar in. It comes with a lot of salt in. Now, if a dog licks your feet or chews your socks or
you
anything
laugh,
like that,
but Jess does that to Millie
it does.
or other people who come
They
round.
do that because it's the salt in your sweat that they can taste. Their taste buds don't work like ours. They can taste certain things and they can't taste other things very well. But they can taste the salt. So, like, when you see an advert for some famous dog foods out there which sound like burgers... Some people will know that.
I just had a vision of like a German Shepherd.
Hang on a minute, you just told me it's alright to name drop and then you've just decided not to.
I'm jogging around it.
Okay.
Because I work in the trade.
Okay,
But,
fair enough.
Like they say, your dog will clear the bowl. Yes, because it tastes really sweet and salty. But at the end of the day, think of it as fast food. It's the equivalent as fast food. They're eating that for breakfast. They're eating it for dinner.
It's a lot easier to eat at McDonald's, clean the plate than it is for a salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But
McDonald's on the plate.
Like I say to customers, it's like I say, it's like giving them fast food for every meal. Like me, it tastes great, but it ain't good for you.
Mm.
But especially with bigger dogs, because they take longer to grow, if they've been on a poor food from day one, they have been seen to age quicker in the sense that like the muscle starts going or the joints start going because they've not been getting the good stuff. Like they're clear cut, like straight out of Colombia stuff.
Fair enough. All right. How about this then?
Straight up Colombian dog
Me
food.
and my wife had a discussion the other day.
Colombian dog food, yeah. Dog just snorts it across the kitchen floor.
Me and my wife had a discussion the other day, and I conceded the point because she had spoken to an expert. So I want to get another expert's opinion. No, it was a vet. So I want a pet shop man's opinion.
Here we go. Because now, as far as vets go, I'm not bad-mouthing vets. They do a brilliant job. But when you go to vet school, the course of nutrition is very short.
It is about
They're
nutrition.
more They're more about repairing your dog.
Right.
vet needs nutrition. Now, they can do extra courses in nutrition, which some vets do, but some vets don't. And some vets will only push a food from a company that has gone to them and said, will you stock our food? I'm like, yeah, feed this. But some do nutrition courses and some don't. Like I say, I'm not bad-mouthing any vet.
Okay.
It's just that some know nutrition, some are just going by from that short course that they have done in their 5 years of vet school.
All right, so as the self-proclaimed pet shop man, I want your opinion on this.
Oh, a test.
My wife was told by a vet that because
Was she getting checked up?
that because our dog is on dried food, it's working dog food in the bag, it's all dried biscuits, that some water should be put in the bowl with the food because the dog doesn't realise that it's getting thirsty and needs to have a drink, despite the fact she has access to clean drinking water at all times.
Now, obviously, when you start delving into how dogs originated, obviously they originated from wolves.
Wolves,
that
yes.
would eat meat is kind of classed
She
as
has
a wet
a
food
big
'cause
bowl of
it
water
bends.
and she knows where it is and
Now-
she drinks from it regularly.
If you start adding water to a dry food, you start taking nutrients out of the biscuit.
That's what I
No
was
matter
afraid of.
How lower them nutrients are, depending on the type of food you feed, that's in the biscuits. Now, a dry food does help to clean the teeth because as they're chewing it, it helps scrape the teeth clean. Obviously, when you wet a food down, it's counteracting what the food is trying to do. Now, some foods, say your higher brands, do have teeth cleaning properties to it. Now, obviously, when you start putting water in it, the food itself is trying to clean the teeth, but then because it's wet and stodgy, it's just getting between the teeth and getting stuck. So it's counteracting what the food is trying to do.
Right.
But again, that just comes down to the type of food that you
So you would advise not to put water in it?
No,
That's
would
what I
advise
thought.
not to put water in.
I'm
If you want to
so-
feed a raw diet, I have issues on that. But again, that's
Raw
different.
what do you mean, like raw meat?
Yeah,
No, we don't do that.
there are. Well, it's a very time consuming. It's an expensive way to go, and dogs are susceptible to the same kind of food problems that we are, like undercooked food or food that's not prepared quite right. They can still get salmonella, and they can still get issues like that.
I
But
think we've
that's a whole
found the
different
subject for this episode, haven't we?
You need a wee again.
No,
Well,
that was
we have to
him.
wrap this
He
up
did-
in a minute. We have to wrap this up because we have to order food,
And then get on to our second episode.
and then we'll sort the next episode out. But yeah, so this is kind of generally what it's been about. Some episodes will be just general rambling like this. Others will
It's like
try.
90% pet food.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I
well, actually, I was going to say, episode 0 has been 50% random stuff and 50% pet knowledge.
Yeah. Well, like I say,
it's educational though. It's good
Well, that's
stuff.
what we could do. Pet knowledge for episode 1,
now
sort of like arms dealing for episode 2, and then how to wipe a bum in episode
No,
3.
we've already got a discussion for the next episode.
yeah, so
though.
you can be like episode 3 or something.
That's revenge.
We'll talk about
technically
guns at a later
episode
date.
2 because this is episode 0. Don't
We can
forget.
talk about guns. I like guns. There's
I
some
like-
guns
I
that I
like them.
like.
They're good. They pay my wage.
They do all right.
Taking
Yeah,
my
they pay your
guns.
wages. Then we can talk about bum wiping.
Yeah, no, I'll think of something else.
With guns. But I've
Yeah,
honestly,
bayonet. It's a toilet roll holder.
I've spent a total of 15 years in pet care.
So you've got a lot to go
I've
off.
got a lot to say about pet food, and if there's questions, I'll try and answer them.
Well, it's probably a good idea that we stop and get some food because I've tried about 3 times to drink my microphone already.
I still need a wee. Sorry, Mark, you were about to say something.
I was about to eat my... I was going to say, what would you recommend for lizard?
Lizard food.
Bugs, isn't that what they eat in the
Dry
wild?
food, live
Well,
food,
bugs
salad.
are a whole different thing, aren't they? You get insects, and you get bugs, which are insects, but they're their own category.
Okay, invertebrates.
Yeah, I mean, they can eat like locusts and mealworms and Mario worms and things like that.
Submit now.
But then, obviously, with some lizards, you have to like coat them in like a calcium thing to help with their fragile bones.
See, that I don't understand, because I don't see lizards in the wild grabbing a cricket and go, not enough calcium.
Yeah, but-
oh, look, a calcium stone.
Well, that's it. They have more variety out in the wild. They can eat other things, except when they're at home.
So
they
given-
generally get like crickets or
Yeah, but give them...
locusts.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. If you were just to give them crickets or locusts, I understand the calcium stand. But if they're used to eating a specific breed of or species of invertebrate in the wild, why did you not just feed them that exact same thing in captivity?
Well, the thing
when
is,
they're in the wild, they just eat anything. If you're a lizard and you don't go, oh no, that's a cricket, I want to eat that. You'll go, that is an insect. Let's see how that tastes. It's like if you walked into a fast food restaurant, you'd be like, that is round, that's made of meat, it's between 2 slices of bread, let's eat it. You don't care what kind of meat it is.
True, but animals don't think like this. They don't think food. Animals know what they should and should not have. Animals will purposely avoid things.
Well, I know
that are
that
not
I
good for
should
them.
not have a McDonald's breakfast wrap every single morning on the way
good
to work.
quality fast food
Yeah.
is available.
But I still have it. So what I'm saying
That's the
is,
difference between you and animals.
should
we have a different
should a
stomach.
reptile eat a McDonald's breakfast wrap?
Now, going back to dogs a second, like,
That's a... Go on, carry on.
well, going back to pets. Pets have a very short digestive tract. Now, a dog, unlike us, we can eat something different for every meal and we'll be fine. Most dogs can eat one thing for one meal, but if they eat another thing for another meal, it upsets their system and they'll get the runs and they'll feel ill. Because they get used to one thing. When you change your food completely, you have to do it gradually because it can upset the system and they'll get the runs. Unlike us, where we can just eat whatever. Now, the thing with like lizards and reptiles is that one of the most important parts of like keeping reptiles, amphibians, is feeding the food that you give them.
No, it's...
Now, you've got to think that if you feed crickets or if you feed locusts or mealworms or anything like that, what the prey is eating is then getting passed on to the pet that you're keeping. Your snakes, for example. So, well, not snakes, they'll eat mice. So, say you had a gecko. Whatever you feed its food will pass on to it. So you've got to give it good quality. You've got to give its food good quality food to be passed down the line.
So, by that logic, if I go to
This should be good.
a fast food restaurant...
I say, can you feed this cow beer?
Yeah, but...
And then make a burger
but
for it for me.
If I eat a beef burger from any place that serves beef burgers, the beef that came into that beef burger was from a cow. A cow only eats grass. Therefore, if I eat the beef burger, does that make me a vegetarian?
It doesn't necessarily eat grass.
What else do cows eat?
They can eat a variety of things.
But they're all vegetable based, or
Yeah, they're all very... See, if you fed meat to, like, a sheep or a cow,
yeah.
that, in some respects, that cow or sheep could die if you fed it meat.
Well, it's going to
Because
die because it's got to die to make the burger.
They're... In a different
The
sense.
food alone would kill it.
The food alone will kill it and not the bolt that hits it. Now, they have an untimely slow digestive tract. And if you fed it meat, before that meat has a chance to pass through its entire system, that meat can rot and will poison it and kill it
Damn, that's a dark way of looking at it.
if you feed it meat. A fully vegetarian animal like that, if you fed it meat, it could potentially die.
So what you're saying is we should only eat vegetarians.
Vegans, it would solve a lot of issues for me at work.
Eat the
So,
vegans.
whoa. So, this has been episode 0. If you're still here... He wants me to press pause. I'll just press pause now. We'll be back. So, Jamie has something to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up a point of going back to what Martin said. about how I said about when animals know what they can and can't eat and what's good for them. And Martin brought up the point was, I know a breakfast wrap isn't good for me, but I still eat it.
Every day.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to bring up the difference between animal sentience and human sentience here. Let me just please let me. You can have your go. Just let me. Human sentience. Human sentience, we know what we can and can't have, and we can choose to disregard that. For example, we know fast food isn't good for us, but we can still choose to eat it. Whereas animals...
Subway has, like, veg in it.
Whereas animals will know what is good and what is bad for them, and they will adhere to that to the point of... Like, if you put a fast food burger in front of a sheep and some hay in front of grass or something like that, the sheep will always choose the grass because it knows it's what's best for it. Animals don't have the same level of sentience that we do.
No, I'm just going to point out that by the logic you've just presented, sheep are more intelligent than we are.
They are indeed.
In because some respects they are.
In a survival of the fittest aspect, yes, they are.
A sheep would choose the hay over the kebab.
Yes.
What are we about to order?
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I don't argue with you here. I know. I agree completely.
I might have a pizza.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have a pizza as well.
Box.
I prefer pizza to kebabs.
What, stuffed crust or normal?
Stuffed crust, of course.
Depends what's going.
Thin crust or deep
You can
pan?
get kebab on
Well, no,
pizzas,
if it's stuffed crust,
though.
it's got to be deep pan. You can't have a thin crust stuffed crust. That's not possible.
It is possible. It's just never done because it's wrong.
Okay, yeah,
like
point.
being southern. So yeah.
But you get my point, what I'm saying. Joe,
I'm sure
Joe does, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean.
Animals have a degree of sentience, but not to the same level that we do.
It all comes down to instinct. It all
So
comes
what you're
down to
saying is
natural
less
instinct.
sentience means that the more sentient you become, the more stupid you are.
Well,
Pretty much.
That's why, like, things like livestock can be smarter than people.
It's like the cow's going, I'm not going to eat that kebab, I'm going to become that kebab.
No, think of it
No,
this...
because generally kebabs are lamb, aren't they?
Well, it depends on which kebab shop we go to.
Think of it this
Well,
way.
it could be rat then.
Yeah.
If you get a cow right now that's in a farm...
Do not bring a cow in here.
What, in
If
your
you
living room?
if you had a cow in a field and then suddenly you uprooted it and dumped it in
Uprooted it like a tree.
For fuck's sake, you know what I mean? You suddenly...
Let me get my spade and dig my cow up.
You suddenly helicoptered it into, say, a wild plain somewhere else.
How many farms have you seen with helicopters dropping cows into the field?
Can you stop picking apart the bits and just accept the premise here?
It's a really loose premise.
You're supposed to be focusing on the point, not the details.
I'm trying to work the point out.
I haven't got to it yet. You haven't let me get there. If you pulled a cow out of a farm field and put it in just...
It won't be happy.
If you dumped it in some random wild field...
Yeah.
With a water source nearby, random water source, little lake with a bit of grass here and there, the cow would eat the grass, drink the water, and it would survive just as it would on the field. Whereas if you uprooted us from our houses, our modern conveniences, if you dumped us in some random field in the middle of nowhere with no way of getting to any modern conveniences before we even try that, we would die.
No, we wouldn't, because you've already established that the cow is already there. We've got the ingredients for McDonald's.
I didn't say the same.
All we need.
I didn't say the same field as the cow.
By your logic, what you're saying is if you uprooted a cow and put it into another field, but if you took a person from like a town and put them into a field, what you need to be saying is if you put a cow into a city, what would it do?
Okay, yeah.
It would go to a Subway and it would eat the lettuce, and then it will get diarrhea and probably die.
Okay, so point. All right, we'll do it by your scenario, but the point still stands.
It will probably get knifed.
The point is,
if it was dropped into like Scarborough.
Yeah, it would. The cow lives.
It goes down to Peasome, drink out of Peasome Lake, and probably die of poisoning.
The cow lives on pure instinct, whereas we live on what we've learned. And if we're dumped outside our comfort zone, we panic and we die. Whereas the cow will just make the best of what's in front of it.
I have to disagree.
Bear Grylls won't because he'd drink his own wee.
Bear Grylls is a phony. He waits for the cameras to stop rolling and then gets in a hotel.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Ray Mears, on the other hand, actually stays out there. And
he's
does
the
it
legend.
properly. Yeah, he does it properly.
Can you imagine that?
Are you calling him out?
A fight between
damn right I am.
A fight between Ray Mears and Bear Grylls.
Ray Mears would win.
It's like Ray Mears is like, I'm going to have this fight, and Bear Grylls will be like, I'll go with that fight after I've had the buffet at my hotel.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Ray Mears would he would gut the cow and he'd cook it properly, and Bear Grylls will get in the cow.
you could have worded that a bit different.
Ray Mears will pitch a tent, and Bear Grylls will climb in the cow and have like a leather tent, which is essentially what it is.
Yeah. But you get the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I get the point.
We are only the dominant species on the planet because of our sentience, because of our technological
Thing is,
marvels.
the human race is getting like slightly more dense. Sorry, but it
No,
is.
I'm with
But
you. That's the
if
point I'm trying to
you
make.
took the warning labels on everything, like
Natural
natural
selection would take over.
It would like show you the way. Like a cow will know like that. I've eaten that before and it's made me feel unwell.
I'm not going to
But
do it again.
A human will be like, I need to pee. There's an electric fence. Problem solved.
Yeah. Probably a bit more extreme, but yeah, kind of.
Have you ever tried that?
What, piss
No,
electric fence?
Because
No.
do you know why? I'm slightly more intelligent than the people that do.
And I'm aware that liquids conduct electricity.
What about oobleck?
What's Oobleck?
Oobleck is a non-Newtonic fluid
Do you know when
where
you get cornstarch?
it's a liquid, but if you hit it, it acts like a solid.
Is that same non-Newtonian? That's the same stuff that if you were to put it on a speaker and play a low bass, it basically turns into little morphs all having sex with each other.
I'm sorry, I zoned out for a minute there, and all I heard was morph having sex with each
I
other.
can't remember what the exact ingredients were. I think it's basically
What, for Play-Doh?
No, it's like Play-Doh. It's but a lot more liquidy. When it's still, when nothing's going on, it's a liquid.
It's a liquid.
But
If
when the
something
bass
happens to it,
it becomes
goes
more.
solid.
it's a liquid.
Well,
it's
the one
solid, yeah.
The one I've seen, it's less solid. It's more like a plasma, and it looks basically like a morph gangbang.
Do you ever watch How Ridiculous?
No,
They
I
are-
can't say I've ever heard of that.
They're
They are
legends.
legends.
We're going to watch them while we're eating our takeaway.
Oh wait, all right. I would have thought, given that what we're talking about in the next episode, we might be watching clips from that just to refresh ourselves.
Let's put.
I don't need to refresh myself because I've got a lot to say on it.
Oh great! So basically, it's just going to be you talking to me and Martin sat
Oh,
here
but it'll be
listening.
me bitching and you two trying to calm me down. I'll be like, no, you're wrong. This is why. But we'll get to that.
Look
anyway,
forward to that, listeners.
this has been overly long.
It has.
It's been an hour and 22 minutes.
Wow, really?
So this will have to be a long commute for people for episode 1. But yeah, this is episode 1. We're generally we're gonna nerd out on things, and we'll just talk general rubbish.
And we
And
will-
everyone likes it, and everyone has an opinion. If anyone's got opinion,
And
then write or send a postcard,
Or
in the
comment,
old-
like
the
most
old
people
days.
do.
A comment will do.
And I'm sure eventually Pet Shop Man will think up of a decent intro and outro.
Yeah, I need to find a jingle. I need to get in touch with Fergie about that.
Until then,
We
stay
do.
classy,
He
San
knows
Diego.
people. San Diego.
Anchorman.
Are you the? Is that
Oh my god, have you not seen Anchorman?
I've seen Anchorman, but it's been a long time ago.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Age of emotion.
But we're not American. Hello, American people, if you listen.
Hiya.
I have no issue
Yo.
with you, unless...
I do. You fucked over the Native Americans.
Well, on that note, that was Jamie. So
Yeah, damn right it was.
any hate mail, send it to him.
Bring it on.
Oh, God. And we'll think of something to shut him up next time. So, this is the outro.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.